I've been a fat loss coach for over 6 years and have helped over 800 men and women professionals lose their belly fat. But before that, I worked 70 hours a week leading a sales department, usually stuck in meetings from 8 a.m. until 7 p.m. at night. Now, despite being incredibly busy, I was still able to get a good-looking, lean body. So if you feel too busy, but you want to lose the belly fat, sit back and watch, because I'm sharing the same nutrition cheat codes that I use to get lean so that you can do it too, even if you're busy as hell. Starting with number 1, frictionless eating. When most people start some kind of diet, they cut out junk, they cut out snacks, they cook every meal themselves, and they try eating as perfectly as possible. As you've probably experienced yourself, this can get exhausting, especially when you're already stressed over your work, business, or family. And if the diet you're following feels like a total pain in the ass, the chances of you sticking to it long term are practically zero. Hence why so many people will lose weight for maybe a couple months, right before putting it all back on again. But when you make your diet frictionless, you'll have no problem sticking to it, even when you're tired, stressed, busy, or overwhelmed. So what does frictionless eating actually look like? Well, it would be whatever feels easy for you. If you generally get most of your meals from restaurants, then you'll build around that. If you're a grab and go type where you're always on the run, you'll build around food and meals that still make that possible. This is how you build a diet around your life, rather than changing your life for the sake of a diet. So whatever diet you end up wanting to follow, just make it as frictionless as possible. And once you've done that, you want to incorporate cheat code number 2, a protein overhaul. Protein is the cheat code of all cheat codes. You burn more calories by eating it, you stay fuller for longer, you crush your cravings, and you'll save your muscle mass, meaning you'll lose fat, resulting in a leaner, more toned body. That all being said, what does a protein overhaul look like? Put simply, you'll just be taking whatever a typical day of eating is for you and making it heavier in protein. So again, if you're the grab and go type, instead of a candy bar, some nuts, and a bag of chips, you'll do a protein bar, Greek yogurt, and protein chips. If you do a lot of restaurant meals, instead of pasta or a burger, you may do something like a grilled chicken sandwich, steak and some veggies, or some kind of protein bowl. A good rule to follow is to get around 10 grams of protein for every 100 calories you consume. If you do that, you'll have no problem staying full despite following a diet. For cheat code number 3, we have fast food fat loss. I think we can all agree that going through a drive-through or ordering something from Uber Eats is the easiest thing you can do to get some food in your system. Unfortunately, most professionals do this, but they end up consuming way too many calories and not nearly enough protein. As we talked about this already, this makes it incredibly hard to ever lose any weight, but think about how easy it would be to lose the weight if dieting was as easy as pulling through a drive-through. You wouldn't have to prep, cook, or clean. It would genuinely be the easiest diet in the world for you to follow, making it the easiest diet for losing weight. But that's gotta be impossible, right? There's no way in hell someone could eat fast food consistently and still get a lean body. Well, that's actually not true. If you know what you're doing, fast food and restaurant meals can serve as great options when you don't feel like cooking a full meal. Myself and my clients frequently order from Chick-fil-A, Jersey Mike's, Panera, Chipotle, and more because it's easy. We have a structure we can follow to keep us on track. This is one of the ways my program makes it easy to finally stick to a diet long term. And when you find a diet you can actually stick to, you lose the weight and you'll never put it back on. If you're interested in getting my help, just click the first link in the description below. The next cheat code I want to talk about is number 4, snack swaps. Whether you're running out the door and grabbing something last minute or stopping at a gas station for something quick, the items you choose can either completely derail you or get you closer and closer to your goals. Traditionally, most people would grab a bag of chips or some trail mix, but these will eat up your calorie allowance before your day even gets started. But if you're hungry and you need a snack, you still have options. Next time you're grabbing a snack, you'll want to pick up a bag of protein chips. I like the Quest and Legendary Foods brands. You'll grab a protein bar. Built and Bear Bells are my favorite. You could also grab some jerky and even a protein shake. Each of these things are high in protein, meaning they'll keep you fuller and get you closer to your fat loss goals. Swaps like these can make a huge difference in the number of calories you're consuming each day. Moving on, I'm gonna start shooting off the rest of these cheat codes rather quickly because they're pretty self-explanatory, but they're still super effective for helping you lose fat. Starting with number 5, whey protein. And look, this one is super simple. Sometimes it's hard to hit your protein goal. To make it less hard, keeping a tub of your favorite protein powder around can really make a difference. Me personally, I rarely have much of an appetite in the mornings, so naturally, it would take me until later in the day to even start progressing towards my daily protein goal. This makes it difficult to squeeze in all the protein I need, so I do this instead. I take 10 ounces of water or milk and add 1.5 to 2 scoops of whey each morning. This is generally between 45 and 60 grams of protein right at the start of my day, and it makes my overall goal much easier to reach. Try a few different ones, find one you love the flavor of, and add this to your daily routine. protein. For cheat code number 6, I have meal delivery services. Originally, I wasn't really a fan of these, but the longer they've been out, the more aligned they've become with helping people lose weight. Companies like HelloFresh and Factor have a ton of high protein, low calorie options that you can microwave in just 2 minutes. It's just another option available to you if you really don't have time or you just don't feel like cooking. For cheat code number 7, we have caffeine. Caffeine is a proven appetite suppressant and can really help you reduce calories consumed by pushing your meals to later in the day. Generally, my recommendation is black coffee or a zero sugar energy drink, but both will have the same effect. Just pick whatever you prefer. The next cheat code is to stop eating 2 hours before bed. You need to have a strict cutoff for any and all calories, and there are 2 main reasons this is important. First one being, if you're eating too close to the time you go to sleep, your body's not going to be fully prepared for rest and recovery because it still needs to digest whatever you had just eaten. Studies show you're nearly 50% more likely to wake up during the night if you're eating close to bedtime. And the second reason you need to stop eating before bed is to regulate your hunger hormones. Our circadian rhythm doesn't only exist for our sleep schedule. It also affects our digestion, hormones, and more. When you're eating a bunch of food late at night, you'll disrupt your hunger and fullness hormones, leading to more intense cravings the following day. So stop eating at least 2 hours before bed and try building up to 3 or 4. Cheat code number 9 is to keep alcohol to a minimum. Put simply, alcohol is a toxin and our body views it as such. So when it's present in our stomachs, our metabolism's #1 goal is to get rid of it as fast as possible. In order to achieve this, your body's fat burning ability is generally paused for 12 to 36 hours. This, of course, depends on how much alcohol you've actually consumed. A couple drinks per week is usually not a big deal. Just try not to go over 2 to 3 per week. Otherwise, you may struggle to lose fat efficiently. Cheat code number 10 is grocery hacks. I want to remind you that dieting doesn't have to be difficult, and it doesn't require you to cook extravagant meals. One of the easiest things you can do to lose weight is to stock up on things like frozen lightly breaded chicken strips, protein power bowls, 60-second rice, rotisserie chicken, pre-made protein shakes, and more. You don't have to live off of these types of items, but if you're ever in a pinch, they'll help you stay under your calorie limit and hit your protein goals. And lastly, for nutrition code number 11, we have what I like to call macro boosting. Almost no one on the planet can stick to a diet long term if they're removing a lot of their favorite foods. Unfortunately, a lot of our favorite foods are high calorie and lower in protein. But due to the beautiful world of food science we live in, you can actually find some pretty cool alternatives like protein pizzas, low calorie ice cream, and more. That being said, there may be a time where you absolutely need to have a pizza from Domino's or a burger from McDonald's. And in these situations, I like to do a simple macro boost where you add something extremely protein dense to the meal, making it more macro friendly for fat loss. For example, if you're having 700 calories worth of McDonald's and it's only getting you around 30 grams of protein, it'd be wise to add something like a protein shake to the side, bringing it to like 850 calories and 60 grams of protein. This is one of those sneaky little tricks we teach our clients to use so they can continue eating some of their favorite foods without totally destroying their progress. If you made it this far and you're still looking for additional help with losing the belly fat, click the first link below to apply for my one-on-one help. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again next week.